Eva Marie. Yes, it looks like Eva Marie could be set to soon return to WWE as soon as tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Of course, Monday Night Raw tonight is night two of the WWE draft, so we could see, in addition to SmackDown stars going to Raw, we could see Eva Marie return to Monday Night Raw. Now, since parting ways with the WWE back in 2017, Eva Marie, she's mostly focused on acting and social media work. She's actually appeared in a couple of action movies alongside the likes of Nicolas Cage and Bruce Willis. But she recently hinted at a WWE return and told Real Talker's Jim Alexander that she does have some, quote, unfinished business, end quote, as a WWE superstar inside the squared circle. Now, after that interview, it has since been reported today by Cultaholic that Eva Marie is set to return to the WWE. Her second debut with the company could be as soon as tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. A source within the company told Cultaholic that the Total Divas star could return as soon as tonight's episode of Raw from inside the WWE Thunderdome. Now, Eva Marie, of course, if you're not familiar with her work in WWE, she was previously with the company from 2013 to 2017. She had runs on the likes of SmackDown Live and NXT, and during her last stint on the main roster, she was involved in a storyline which we will touch on in a second, where she used a variety of different excuses to avoid in-ring competition. This included her injuring her knee, being stuck in traffic, and on-air wardrobe malfunction. She's also probably best known from her run on Total Divas. She was in the first 6 episodes of the E-reality TV show, one of the Total Divas originals, and actually that's how she made her debut with the company, was on Total Divas, and subsequently moved over to Raw and SmackDown because of it. Now, she agreed to part ways with WWE back in August of 2017, but there have been rumours recently about her and the WWE. Of course, there were rumours that Eva Marie might be the mystery woman on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, of course, now we know that was revealed to be Carmella. So that wasn't Eva Marie. But she is, if Cultaholic's report is accurate, going to be returning to the company. And you know what? And I've said this on social media a couple of times today. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. Now, that got a bit of a mixed response from those on social media who have interacted with the post. But look, this is where I look at it. Is Eva Marie the best female wrestler we've ever seen, or the best wrestler in general, equality, we've ever seen inside of a WWE ring? Absolutely not. No way. Far from it. She's, if anything, really not that good in the ring at all. I always felt that criticism was a bit harsh on her, if I'm going to be totally honest, because you have to look at Eva Marie's career trajectory in WWE. And she was put on TV in 2013, and she legitimately, you can go back and look at this, she said it in several interviews, she legitimately had about 6 weeks of ring training at that point in her career, and she was put on the main roster on Monday Night Raw. I think she made her actual Monday Night Raw debut on an episode of Miz TV, if I'm correct, in 2013. She slapped Jerry Lawler. But she had legitimately 6 weeks of ring training, WWE training, whatever, under her belt at that period of time. Legit, she was greener than green, and she was asked to work matches, work programs, work storylines. So I always felt the criticism of her at the time was incredibly harsh. It wasn't her fault she was put on TV. The criticism should go to the powers that be that decided that she needed to be on Raw, she needed to be on SmackDown, etc., because that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair on her. So I always felt that was incredibly harsh. People don't like Eva Marie because it's unquestionable, she got the spotlight because of the way that she looked and her role on Total Divas. That's why she was put in the spotlight so much, and I think that criticism is fair. WWE, as much as they would like to try and convince you that it's not, is a wrestling company at the end of the day. They can have marketing, they can have all of these programs, they can have all of these storylines, but ultimately the story is told in the ring, bow to bow between the ropes. And that's where Eva Marie does fail, and her wrestling does suck. So the fact that she did get a push because of the way that she looked and her appearances on certain shows just shows you that when it comes to the women's evolution in WWE that they like to brag about, it's not totally there yet. It still does have the appearance factor when it comes to certain female wrestlers. It should be talent and the work in the ring that determines your push in WWE, but I guess marketing and market ability does factor into your push as well. Now, another thing that we should be, I think, slightly cautious about here, that it was only, about a week or so ago, or well, not a week or so ago, a few weeks ago, when it was reported that a former WWE female superstar was set to return, that being Melina. It was reported that Melina was going to be returning to WWE by Mike Johnson of PW Insider, and the same line there was used, in that she signed and she could appear as soon as tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. That was the line that was used. She's going to appear on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Then Melina subsequently came out and said, nope, that's not going to happen. I would love to return to WWE one day, but I'm not negotiating with them right now. And she even mentioned that it upset her that her fans had their hopes up that she was going to return to the WWE, when in reality it wasn't happening. And I don't mention that story to throw shade at Mike Johnson. I really don't. I think he does a fantastic job. He's one of the most respectable and credible wrestling journalists out there. He's been doing it for a very long time, and PW Insider is a very reputable website and reputable brand. But he wasn't right there. And sometimes WWE does this. WWE can and has in the past released purposely misleading information from time to time. Now, obviously, the question there will be, well, why does WWE purposely release misleading or incorrect information? Well, there are several reasons, of course. One, because it gets people talking, and WWE likes to have people talking about them for a variety of reasons. I don't think, in reality, they care if it's good or bad, but they like to get people talking. And also, it can be, from a WWE point of view, a way to find out just who is leaking the information. If a WWE employee or talent is suspected of leaking information to the dirt sheets and websites, then WWE can give that employee or talent bogus information that you know for a fact isn't true, and then you only tell that information to that particular person, and then once it does get leaked on various websites and social media, you know exactly who did it. So that's something to consider as well. And then obviously you have to consider the sources from Eva Marie's side of things. Maybe there's sources close to Eva Marie or Eva Marie herself that are saying she's set to return to WWE, or WWE are interested in bringing her back. We've seen talents do that quite often. I remember Enzo Amore and Cass, was it last year or so, when they were going to return to WWE when NXT went on the USA Network, and then WWE had to come out and say, yeah, that's not happening. There's a variety of ways that these stories work. So until they're there on the screen, you never know whether it's completely factually accurate. So you just have to wait and see. And there are obviously different sources in this one. You know, one was Mike Johnson of PW Insider. The other was Cultaholic here in the UK. And Cultaholic is very reputable. They don't, in reality, often do scoops or exclusives or spoilers. So I would lean on this story being true. And like I said, until she appears on WWE TV, possibly tonight, we'll find out whether it's true then. So it's a waiting game, but they don't. Many websites, just to take a peek behind the curtain here, many websites do run this by multiple sources, not just one. So we'll have to wait and see, but I would lean on that this is factually accurate. And again, to circle back to it, I don't hate the process or the thoughts of Eva Marie returning to WWE. I really don't. I think Eva Marie had some really great moments in WWE. I really do. Her match with Bayley in NXT, and I believe it was 2015, for the NXT Women's Championship, is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Go back and watch it on the WWE Network. And I say brilliant, I mean brilliant in terms of storytelling, not in terms of the action and the wrestling there. Eva Marie did fine, but it's the storytelling and the drama of that match that makes it so excellent. So Eva Marie at that point had been on the main roster because of the Total Divas spot, but then she was sent back to NXT essentially to learn how to work. You're green, you haven't had a lot of ring training, you're put in a featured spot, you need to be able to work. So she was sent back to NXT to learn how to work. And she appeared on NXT, and obviously the crowd at Full Sail is a very smart crowd. It's an underground crowd. They read all of the dirt sheets, they know all of the insider information. So they hated Eva Marie. I mean, they hated her. I'm talking nuclear, peak Vicky Guerrero reactions at the NXT arena. You couldn't even hear what she was saying. The microphone wasn't loud enough. It was fantastic. Anyone that can get that reaction, they're doing something right. They are doing something right. So basically what they had her do in NXT, they had her in a storyline where she would have matches and get victories by very dodgy referee calls, people laying down, super screwy stuff, fast counts, people had their shoulders up but the referee counted it anyway. And essentially the storyline was Eva Marie is seen as marketable from the WWE officials. She's on Total Divas. We want to make her a star. She's the person we're going with, whether you like it or not. It was kind of sort of a play on the Roman Reigns actual reality storyline at the time of we don't care what you think about Roman Reigns, we're going to push him. It was kind of the same with Eva Marie, but it was a bit more tongue-in-cheek at NXT. And essentially it was Eva Marie is marketable, the company wants to push her, and it was almost NXT acknowledging that she sucks in the ring and everyone hates her, but it was what was best for business. And it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. So all of this led to a match with Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship, and there were spots in there where it really, really looked like Eva Marie was going to win the NXT Women's Championship. And this is at a time where Bayley had just won the NXT Women's Championship after her great matches against Sasha Banks, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and the Iron Man match. So Bayley was red hot, and she was so over with the NXT audience and the Full Sail Arena audience. And it looked like there were spots in there where you thought for a second, oh my God, they're going to go with Eva Marie to win the NXT Women's Championship. They had ref bumps, fast counts. I think, unless I'm mistaken, even Charles Robinson showed up as a proper WWE official stooge and not an NXT referee, but a WWE referee. It was very much NXT versus The Office. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Bayley won the match eventually, but it was a fantastic storyline and a fantastic moment. So after that, I think WWE saw, you know what, we can do something with Eva Marie. We can turn her into this real hateable heel. This could be money. So Eva Marie went to SmackDown during the 2016 draft, the second brand extension in WWE history. And as I mentioned at the top of the video here, she did a storyline of having this over-the-top, super, super long entrance with an announcer, a different announcer. And then before the match could start, she would pull out for whatever reason. She didn't want to work, the time was cut, she got injured, she had a wardrobe malfunction, she was late in traffic, and she never had the match. And fans just hated it. On social media, some of the reactions were hilarious, some of the reactions in the arena were hilarious. They hated the storyline, they hated her, but guess what? That was the point. I thought it was brilliant. And I think it actually involved Eva Marie and the likes of Becky Lynch at the time. And look at the star Becky Lynch is now, even though she's not on TV. And then she left and she's since gone into acting, Eva Marie. So like I said, I'm not against it. I'm really not against her returning at all. I think it allows new characters on Monday Night Raw, if she indeed does appear on Monday Night Raw and not SmackDown. And why wouldn't you have someone like Eva Marie? You've had was it Debbie Burnett, whatever her name is, on Raw with Angel Garza and Andrade and Ivar for weeks and weeks a few weeks ago. So why not? Why wouldn't you have an Eva Marie on there? I think it would be fantastic. And I think I pitched this on social media as well. I think Eva Marie would work great as a valet to maybe someone like Angel Garza. Now, I know Angel Garza's on the shelf at the moment. He had a partial or a slight quadricep tear. It's not as serious as first thought, so he could be back in a couple of weeks. I think as a valet to someone like Angel Garza, that could really work. There are possibilities there, and it's different. We need different on Monday Night Raw. Instead of the rematches and the same stuff every week, the same characters, the same storylines, we need something different. And I think Eva Marie is something different. I think a pairing with someone like Angel Garza could work very, very well. I think their characters mesh very well. And Garza's English is improving, but as it continues to improve, why not have Eva Marie to get some heat? Why not have Eva Marie as a bit of a mouthpiece? She could be just the heel heat that someone like Angel Garza needs to really rock it up to the next level, because he's got so much potential. But sometimes you just need a little bit of that stardust. No Cody Rhodes pun there intended, but he just needs a little bit of that to go up an extra level, and maybe Eva Marie might be that person. I know it sounds like a ludicrous statement, but it's a possibility. It's absolutely a possibility. Now, should Eva Marie be the Raw Women's Champion? Hell no, not at all. But I don't think she will. I would be stunned if, I know tonight on Raw they're having a dual-branded Battle Royal to determine the next Raw Women's Championship contender. I would be stunned if maybe Eva Marie does returning that. That's the way she returns, but I'd be stunned if she won it. Could you imagine the reaction to that? I don't think that's the best use of her, but there are ways to use her. There are absolutely ways to use her on the WWE roster. She can play a part on Raw, and I don't think it's a bad thing if the report is indeed true. So as I mentioned, we'll find out tonight. We'll find out whether or not she appears on Raw either tonight or on SmackDown Friday or wherever. We'll have to wait and see. But I think it's a very, very interesting prospect if it is indeed true. So, what are your thoughts on Eva Marie potentially returning to WWE as soon as tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys and talking about wrestling here on this channel. If you have enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button as well. It really just helps out here on YouTube. Go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos previously here on YouTube. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestle News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch. Closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I think we're about 30 subscribers or so away from 1,000, so if you haven't already, please do subscribe. But if you have, just know that I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, and I'll speak with you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.